All right, on this quiz, we are graphing each equation and converting all standard form equations to slope-intercept form. So our goal is every single problem to have y isolated. So we look at number one, is y isolated? Yeah, it's isolated. It's all by itself on the left-hand side. So that means our slope in this problem is -1, not -1x, just -1. And if we want to, we can write it as -1/1, because that's going to help with the rise over run. The y-intercept is whatever's at the end of the problem. It is the plus or minus whatever this number is. So our y-intercept is 0, 5. So remember, we always start here at the y-intercept. Graph that first. So 0, 5. See, the y-coordinate is 5, so that means the vertical coordinate is 5. So I'm going to go straight up 5. The slope is negative, so that means we're going downhill. We're going to go down 1, right 1. Negative slope means we're going downhill from left to right. So we're just going down 1, right 1, pretty much forever. Or remember, you can go the opposite way. You can go up 1, left 1, since the line goes both ways. Graph as many points as you can to fill that table. All right, the thing with the rest of these are not in slope-intercept form. They are in standard form. So that means we need to isolate y first. Number 2, the one you're doing on your own, that one is in slope-intercept form. That's what we want, so that one should be easy. Number 3, not as much. But we need to isolate y, and to do that, we're just going to subtract 2x from both sides. Now be careful here. Of course, the 2x's cancel on the left. -4 and -2x, those are not like terms. So you can't really combine the -2 and the -4x. You can just kind of write them side by side. So I'm going to rewrite it as y equals -2x minus 4. You may be thinking, why didn't we write it as -4 minus 2x? And that's because we want to keep it in mx plus b4. So we want to write the x term first. So our slope is -2/1. So that means it's going down 2, right 1. But we got to figure out where our starting point is. Our starting point is at the point 0, -4. Remember, that is the y-intercept. So you're always going to start on the y-axis when you do these problems. So there's the y-intercept, 0, -4. And then we're going to go down to right 1 to get other points on this line. And we can keep going down to right 1. And then we can do the opposite, up to left 1, up to left 1, up to left 1. Graph your line. All right, let's do a couple more. 5 and 7. Number 5, we need to solve this for y again. So you may be thinking, well, let's get rid of that -3. But that -3 is multiplying by y, which means we're eventually going to have to divide by -3 in this problem, which typically we know when we're solving equation division, usually our last step. So before we get rid of that -3, let's focus on moving the x to the other side. That is a positive x. So that means it's going to be a negative x when we move it to the other side. algebraically, what we say is we subtract x from both sides. Positive x minus x cancels out. So we get negative 3y equals negative x minus 21. Those aren't like terms, can't combine them. Now our last step here in this problem is we're going to divide everything by negative 3 because our goal is to get y by itself. Tricky part about this one is when we're dividing that x by negative 3. So the negative 3's cancel here on the left because negative 3 divided by negative 3 is 1. If it helps, remember, write that imaginary 1 that is in front of the x. We don't usually write it, but it is there. So that negative 1 divided by negative 3 becomes a positive 1 over a positive 3 because a negative divided by negative is a positive. And that negative 21 divided by negative 3 is a positive 7. So that is the equation in slope-intercept form. Now graph it. Start at 0, 7. Use 1 over 3 as your rise over run. I'll let y'all finish the rest of that problem. Start at 0, 7, and then go up 1 over 3 to get each point. All right, and then finally number 7. Same thing. Our goal is to isolate y. So I'm first going to worry about this x term. And then since it's a negative 4x, I'm going to add it to both sides. So you add 4x to 0. Those aren't like terms, so I just write it as 4x plus 0. Then we're going to divide everything by 6. Hopefully you're starting to see a pattern. So 4 over 6x, 0 divided by 6 is 0. Of course, we can reduce 4 over 6. Think about a number that goes into 4 and 6. Your mind should go to 2 pretty quickly since both of those numbers are even. So we're going to divide both the numerator and the denominator by 2 to get y equals 2/3 x plus 0. Now, do we really need to write the plus 0? No, we don't. Because if nothing's there, we know what the y-intercept is. So that's the equation in slope-intercept form, which means we're starting at 0, 0, and then our slope is 2 over 3, or in other words, up to right 3. So your line would look like that through the point 0, 0, and it's going up to right 3 for all the points there.